At one point this weekend, you said that Bitcoin, and this was basically, you were asked, Charlie said Bitcoin's like rat poison. You were asked about that comment, and you said, well, it's probably more like rat poison squared. Charlie went on in the meeting to then basically call Bitcoin turds.
He is an expressive sort of thing. Maybe when he gets a little older, he'll mature.
I just want to ask you about that because it sparks so much controversy, and particularly on Twitter and some of the places where you might expect people who are trading in cryptocurrency to be pretty loud about what they heard. What is it about Bitcoin that gets you guys so fired up?
Well, when you buy a farm, you look at the crop every year and what prices are, and you decide whether it was a satisfactory investment. I mean, you look to the asset itself and what it produces for you. When we buy a business, we look at what the business earns and decide how we feel about it in terms of what we paid. But we are buying something that at the end of the period, we not only have what we bought in the first place, but we have something that the asset produced. And when you buy non-productive assets, all you're counting on is whether the next person is going to pay you more because they're even more excited about another next person coming along. But the asset itself is creating nothing.
The potential ramifications of a Bitcoin crash. Understanding the impact on investors and markets. This video will not be discussing in depth what Bitcoin is. I'll assume you already know what it is. However, we will focus on the economic side of things and analyze what impact the fall of Bitcoin would have on the world. Of course, this isn't financial advice, just a curious look into the effects of the complete devaluation of Bitcoin would bring. Before we begin, I'm using an iVoices text-to-speech reader to read my script because we are a new channel and I am producing everything on my phone without a microphone. So to support this channel, click the subscribe button and drop like it'll mean a lot. Through this, our production will improve and we will buy a microphone and scale up production. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a decentralized form of digital currency that uses cryptographic methods to represent and transfer value from one user to another. But to fully appreciate what Bitcoin is, we must understand what money is. Money is any piece of paper that represents an amount of value and is backed but by a centralized government organization. Back in the day, people would use a system known as the barter system. It was a system where people would physically exchange valuable items. Thus would only work on a peer-to-peer based system and small groups. This created a new problem. How do we trade on larger scale? Therefore, to solve this problem of trade, money was invented which would allow trade across the world. This is a brief history on what money is. Through thus we can understand what Bitcoin is and why it has value. To dive into more depth, Bitcoin uses a proof-of-work system. This system makes sure everyone on the network has the right amount of Bitcoin. This means no one can duplicate their Bitcoin to generate double the money or the Bitcoin they have. Now that we have an understanding of what Bitcoin is, let's dive into Bitcoin's impact on investors and markets, most importantly how Bitcoin has impacted our lives, and the $1 million question, what if Bitcoin crashed today?
If you're trying to use money that requires banks, you can't trust the banks, right? You certainly can't trust the banks in Africa and South America and most of Asia. It used to be Americans thought they could trust American banks. Now they're realizing that they can't trust American banks. So the first order impact of the banking crisis is people think, well, maybe the money I had in the bank's going away, and so I ought to put it in a bank in cyberspace that isn't controlled by the government or by the bankers, and that's Bitcoin. The second order impact is the solution to the banking crisis is print more dollars. And if you print more dollars, the actual monetary inflation rate goes 10%, 15%, 20%. So you think, why do you think those bonds crashed? Because they're actually claims on dollars. Do you really want to hold $1 billion of Zimbabwe dollars? What if I offered you 10 billion Zimbabwe?
There is nothing in principle that stipulates what should or should not be used as money. Any person choosing to purchase something not for its own sake, but with the aim of exchanging it for something else, is making it de facto money, and as people vary, so do their opinions on, and choices of, what constitutes money. Throughout human history, many things have served the function of money, gold and silver, most notably, but also copper, seashells, large stones, salt, cattle, government paper, precious stones, and even alcohol and cigarettes in certain conditions. People's choices are subjective, and so there is no right and wrong choice of money. There are, however, consequences to choices. For the money to maintain its value, it's necessary that its value is maintained, as large increase in production of money will mean that its inherent value will decrease. This is a problem Bitcoin solves by having a market cap of 21 million Bitcoins. Unlike the centralized cash system that prints and pumps new bills into the economy, devaluing the money that's being held in savings. This negatively affects the taxpayers whose hard-earned money loses value. This problem is known as inflation. It's the reason why a car you bought in the year 2009 at $2,000 today is going for the price of $5,000. It's not that your car has appreciated in value, it's the value of your money that has depreciated.
About 5 years ago, we asked Charlie Munger, we were sitting right there, what he thought of Bitcoin, and he said, rat poison.
Yeah.
Back then it was about $100+ per Bitcoin. Today it's 9,000. Is it still rat poison?
Well, probably rat poison squared.
Regardless of all these upside advantages Bitcoin seems to present over fiat currency, it is extremely volatile. Volatility is an unpredictable frequent change in price. This means if you have savings of $10,000 stores in your Bitcoin wallet today, a month later it may fluctuate to $6,000. This not only creates high uncertainty and fear, but is the major downside of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is controlled by many other factors, most importantly, investor sentiment. As the making of this video, April 1st, 2024 at 17 p.m. Central African Time, Bitcoin price is at $68,831. However, this is accompanied by a 3.40% fall in price. In this video, we will look into what implications this would have if the Bitcoin price keeps dropping and if by the same time next year it reaches $0 worth a 100% fall in price.
I just got back from my holiday and I made a promise to myself for the last 6 months that I wasn't going to check my portfolio, I wasn't going to look at my crypto profits. And I checked my portfolio and I find out that fucking Luna has fucking disappeared. Of all the fucking coins, I put all my money, all my life savings into Luna. Over a year ago, I made $2 million and I come back. It's like a joke. It's like a nightmare. The one coin they say, Luna man is the future UST, or everybody telling me to buy in, and then I see it going down. I'm saying I'm not going to look. They say hodl, right? Hodl. That's what they say in crypto, is to hodl, and I fucking hodl. I hodl my Luna. Now it's completely worthless. It's gone. It's completely gone. Everything I have was in Luna. Everything was in Luna. And you promised me if I hodled, that I'd hold.
Picture this. You wake up at 8 in the morning. To check your phone, you discover that the $1 million of Bitcoin you have is worth $10. All your savings have vanished into thin air. You have no means to survive, bills due. What will you do? If you think of this, it seems impossible, but, however, the entire crypto sphere is based on speculation. A speculation that may work in your favor, or take you from Elon Musk to a drunk, depressed alcoholic who lost everything he had believing in this speculative coin. Due to this, no governments support Bitcoin because it goes against everything their system is built on. This is, borrow money, use it, then print new bills to clear old debt. The taxpayers pay for it. Because of this, many governments wouldn't be affected by Bitcoin's fall, which means they would have much to benefit from the fall of an opposing system. Through propaganda, they would use this opportunity to even manipulate the people to investing into government-backed indexes. Despite the average Bitcoin investor losing millions, it would be business as usual for the rest of the world. To tie everything together, Bitcoin presents many solutions to money problems. However, it not only fulfills the saying, the gift and the curse. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and look out for our next video. Thank you for watching.